Oh my gosh, what is this game?
I feel like if this is what hell looks like for you, this might be your own personal hell, because I am far too confused to experience torture.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
Part of me expects this to almost stay as a single state planar board state right up until I know I'm in trouble, and then it'll immediately be me trying to weasel out of it.
I was just thinking, like, maybe let's get to the mid game first before we
I
do
hate
any like dimension shifting.
I hate to say it, but I'm immediately going to, after promising I wasn't going to try and create more planes, I'm immediately going to try and create more planes in a move or two here. You know, I don't know if castling is advantageous in this game. That just means that you've got two different. If you haven't castled on one board state, but you have castled on another, it just means your king is in more places at once.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if anything, I wonder if like a stationary king is the best way you can defend your king. But then if something goes after your king in that spot, you're super hooped because you've got to move it in like however many timelines that are going.
Chess is hard enough as it is. I don't need some other. Oh, what have you done now?
Well, I was trying to figure out. I was wondering. So because you hadn't moved your bishop, my knight can go 2 spaces forward and 1 board into the past to take your bishop. So now there's a couple different board states going on here. And I don't know if it is or is not to my advantage.
Oh, honestly, I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure out dimension stuff.
But apparently this one knight just likes going everywhere. I can't make up my mind how many knights I want in the board at any given moment. Sorry, Moth, did you say you lost a lamp? Is that like some strange metaphor that is beyond my understanding, or? Ah, yes. There is no social butterfly quite like a horse. And I can see very quickly, by the way, when I'm not made of just complete havoc, I'm immediately losing this game. Oh, I get it now. That's clever. I like that. Because I can see now at this top board state that you've just kind of gone and forked me here with the knight.
Yeah.
And the only way I can possibly imagine to save that queen in that board is to immediately throw away a completely different queen. I refuse to have hotkeys set for anything but my light up eyes, because that already wreaks enough havoc on everything. And like 80% of the time, it just doesn't work. Oh, you have 2 queens in that top board state, I see. My goodness.
No, it works. It's good. Oh, you've stolen my bishop again. What?
And now we're actually back to, I think, the level of confusion we had in the last game. Except perhaps it's my turn to be in check. I think somebody's in check because there is an exclamation point on that top board state.
Yeah. That's gone now. That's good.
There we go.
What was my plan here? I had a plan on this board, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, it's so hard to monitor it all at once. Also, I just realized every time I click off of OBS, my light up eye system just stops. I didn't have to anticipate that before when I was just streaming from VR, but that's something I'll have to fiddle with a little bit later. You know, there are so many other better moves, I'm sure, that are going to occur than what I just did. But we've started the meme of me taking that bishop, and now I'm obligated to quash it from all the timelines that I can.
No, my bishop. Didn't create a new timeline though. It went to a previous one.
Yeah, well, I went to an existing timeline instead of back into the past. Like I think it only creates a new timeline when you're delving into the past. But I think you can move laterally in some instances without the creation of new timelines. Maybe. Anything I say it has to be taken with a grain of salt because I am as clueless as the next person. I like to think that this is a new type of record for me. I don't think there's ever been another instance of me spending an hour playing a singular game and still being this clueless as to how it works. This is the strangest and worst kind of personal best. Now my mind feels wrong every time I try and make a regular move.
Same.
Honestly though, like even for this, I need to sit down someday and spend some time just developing my openings in regular chess, because it's one thing to be completely reactionary and experimenting with everything and trying to see what sticks to the wall.
Yeah.
But there's only so much that I can do if I can't get my pieces out beyond the opening board. You know, the Knights have been very, very divisive in this so far, and I can't tell if it's because the Knights have so much more versatility when they're in the fifth dimension, or if the Knights are just the only pieces we can freely understand.
I think that's probably the case at the moment. Oh, this hurts my brain. I'm trying to read the rules while playing the game at the same time. I got some weird knight move here. Oh no, it doesn't work. Oh, it does.
Uh-oh.
What?
See,
Why does it go back so far?
The longer the drum roll, the more worried I get as to what it's doing to the series of board stakes. I'm the worst sort of person when it comes to learning board games, because on one hand, I'm terrible at reading things and learning. It's one of those things where, you know, the directive number 3 is experience, learn, and grow for a reason. I can't just read something and be like, oh, that's it. No, like, written text is not the format that I put well, which is great, except I'm also short of attention span, and thus a huge jerk about sitting there and watching somebody completely trash me in a game. Oh yeah, like in theory I understand, but in practice, as a wonderful example, Game Joy Pod, who was in the chat a bit earlier, tried to teach me Go, and it did not go, to put it very simply. Not for any lack of the Herculean effort that they put in. Just unfortunately, I started to be just kind of like, Oh, awful to teach? At some point during the first game we were trying to play, my attention span burned out. Like, it was too much for my wee little processor to handle. And so I immediately went from trying to figure out how to play Go to trying to figure out how to cheat at Go.
Well, I've read the rules and I'm still none the wiser. So it seems I am in check. And I'm in check for some weird reason. Oh, why?
Well, see, apparently that queen can still attack the king in that position in the past. So while you're moving your queen in the way in the present, it doesn't stop my queen from also being able to move into the past and attack that king.
So what do I do?
I feel like you're going to have to move something into not just the present board state, but the past board state as well, to branch that off into something different, perhaps, maybe. I don't even know if that would work. If not, then it might just be a matter of, like,
Nope.
abandoning that timeline.
Yes, maybe. It does look like I would have to abandon it.
And then I think, like, I assume if that's the case, the incentive that I'm supposed to face to not just immediately try and go for cramming all of my queens into the same timeline or something, is that you might just possibly be able to leave that behind, and then all of my resources have been trapped in the same state. Maybe. Question mark, I think.
Question.
But I don't know what the stipulations of the game are on how many of these timelines we have to advance, or which ones, before it will let us continue playing. Again, large question mark.
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm just reading here. This doesn't make any sense. It says queens are far more stronger than in regular chess, since they combine the movements of rooks, bishops, unicorns, and dragons. What? Where the unicorns and dragons come from?
I'm sure that means something in the context of this game. I'm really glad though that apparently reading the rules is not going to give you any sort of advantage over me. I guess it's going to want me to advance this furthest board state back. Which, again, like everything else in this game, is punctuated with a huge question mark. We're not just in the dark, this is advanced dark.
Oh my gosh, what is this game?
I don't know, but I'd say immediately it was worth the money that I spent on it. I don't know if we're ever going to see a point where one of us promotes a piece.
Jeez. Probably not.
I feel like the amount of time it takes a pawn to cross one side of this board to another is...
Okay, now I'm in check 3 times at once. This... what? Oh my gosh. What is this? Do that. Boom. Oh, I missed a board. No, never mind. There's so many.
That's okay. It's not like that board's not going to be waiting for you anyways, right?
That's true. It's like that meme. Wait, I'm in check. You always have been.
I hit the wrong button. I moved one board state and submitted a move. You know what though?
Well, that is...
I totally get one thing. So to submit moves, I think you have to at least advance the furthest board state back once. And what this means is you can abandon a timeline only until it's the furthest board state back. So you have until then to get any of the other timelines to rectify that board state before that check inevitably becomes checkmate.
Right. Okay. Let's go with that. Move here. Oh, I'm in check again. Oh.
5D chess, the only place I have any potential of literally blundering my way into victory. You know, I feel like this whole game
Nope.
is on track right up until we get the queens out there. And then suddenly it's just immediately welcome to the end game one way or the other.
Yeah.
I have no idea how or where or when it's going to happen.
Exactly.
I feel like a more composed person would like present the idea that this was my trap, this was my idea all along. But I feel like a 3-year-old playing with a gun here. Like if it goes off, it's not any of my doing.
Yeah, I don't think I can submit a move until...
Well, the problem isn't like... I mean, the problem, yes, is the... Hold on, have you advanced the... No, the board state on the very bottom is mine, so that's the furthest of my board states back. Yeah, I think the one where you're in check, both in the present and in the past, is the furthest board state back.
How do I get out of that, though?
I hate to say, I think you're actually hooped, but unless I were to advance the bottom board state in a way where you could maybe do something about the past board state, question mark, even then, I think once it gets to a certain point, you're just in trouble. And if it won't let you do anything, if there's no move that can be done, then that might just be it.
Yeah.
You know, the one feature of regular chess I really wish this had would be after for it to be like, these are the moves you could have made. But I don't even know if the computer could figure that out.
Probably not.
Certainly it's beyond a 5-week-old robot.
I have no idea what to do. So I'm completely clueless.
I think we might just have to call this one the accidental 2-0 for me at this point. But I was gonna say what we can do is we can still use this to play conventional chess, and the moment that I panic and split the timelines is the equivalent of me resigning.